Keep 100% of your claim. G4 Claims.
If you've been hurt in a road accident that wasn't your fault, you should really talk to G4 Claims first. Unlike road accident solicitors, we don't charge you for our services, which could see you better off. To keep 100% of your compensation, have a chat with Nicole and the team. You'll be glad you did. Search online for G4 Claims.
Keep 100% of your claim. G4 Claims.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Sellik the Thunder podcast. It's episode 2 of the new season. It's episode 146 in general, and we're back in the G4 Claim studio with a full house for you this evening. It's not just me, it's not just Kieran. We've got Dylan, and we've got the return of Calum as well. So I'll start with the man who is back for the first time this season, Mr. Calum Craig. It's nice to have you.
It's good to be back. Also felt like a bit of a long summer. Still feels like we're kind of in that summer for the way things are going at Celtic. But no, it's good. I feel like summer's kind of flew by, really.
Well, you've had 2 holidays. You
Two
jammy
holidays,
bastard.
managed to go and see go and see Oasis. That was a nice wee touch.
Right.
Got to add that lad because I gave him abuse for it at a point and he DM'd me. He said, mate, you just need to keep trying for a ticket. Thankfully it worked.
He tried the Manchester, wasn't it?
Aye, it was indeed.
How
So
was it?
nice to see him. Oh, fantastic.
Top 5 life experience.
Oh,
Aye.
definitely.
Jealous.
Hard to be beaten.
Ah, well, do you know what? Murrayfield this weekend, innit?
Aye.
I don't fancy my chances in getting a ticket. I mean, as you said, if you keep fighting, you might end up... Nobody here's got one, have they?
No, sadly not.
No, but we all wish we were there. So, if you want to sort us out, any companies sponsor the podcast, send us to Oasis, hit me up. But it's good to have you back, Cal. Very nice to see you. Beside him is Dylan. Dylan, how you doing?
Aye, same old, can't complain. Good to be back for a second week.
Aye, I like the hat.
Sadly talk about transfers, but nah. Oh, thank you.
I like it. It's nice.
31 quid to Robin, but no, I'm kidding. That's to make the most of it.
You're the problem. You're putting money into the club.
What a weekend.
How did you enjoy the first game? Well, we'll come on to the game, but did you enjoy your return to
I
Parkhead?
was more stressful than we wanted, but here, 3 points in it. That's all we can ask for, I suppose, but hopefully more improvement at the weekend.
Well, we'll see. And finally, joining me on the left-hand side is Mr. Kieran Auld.
Is that it? No question, no nothing.
No, I was going to let you go, alright.
Alright.
How you doing?
Yeah, I am alright. Just... I actually just clocked what I said.
There you go, that's what I set you up for. How are you doing? Good.
Alright. But nah, it's been a nice to get back at Celtic Park last week. I'm sure we'll come on to the actual game, but I mean... We're Mr. Consistency right now, 2 for 2.
2 for 2.
We were pretty consistent last year, I thought, in the podcast in terms of I think it was probably a record number we actually managed to put out in a season. So will we top it?
Well, we'll soon see. How was the kebab pie?
Oh, I've missed that so much.
I was tempted to get 2.
I know. We were out the Saturday, weren't we?
Aye, that's right.
Usually when I'm a wee bit fragile, 2 kebab pies is the winner, but I'd already ate my fucking body weight by the time I got to Celtic Park.
It's one all day. It's easing your way back into it. Body gets used to it and it'll yearn for more. The kebab pie comes to you, Kieran. Anyway, it's good to be back. As Kieran said, we've made it 2 for 2. Shout out to everybody who watched episode 1 of the season over on YouTube and on Spotify as well. If you haven't, make sure to go and follow us on Spotify, give us a rating of 5 stars as well, and let us climb those charts for most listened to Celtic podcasts over there, because we're the biggest YouTube channel, we're the biggest podcast on YouTube. We'd be number 1 on Spotify as well. And remember, you can become a member of the Thunder Club. Today on the Thunder Club, we'll be covering let me just check this, the most woke things in football. So I head over there and you can listen to that. So
it's quite fitting that you grabbed a printed running order to talk about the most woke thing in football, man. This is pretty woke.
This is the Ron Burgundy of this is really the Anchorman crew now. We've got Brick, Ron, the other 2. I've forgotten their names.
Is it Brian Fantana?
Yep, there you go. I got Calum is right in there. Who's the 4th? Who's the 4th?
Let us know in the comments. I'm not going to remember.
I forgot the fourth. Anyway, we should probably talk about football. We have a strict running order to get through. So let's catch up on the last week of transfers at Celtic. As of last week, we have made one signing in Jemai Simpson-Pusey, who was, of course, already effectively a Celtic player, it felt like this time last week. So really, we've got no attacking links. We're no further forward with any other signings. And especially in the front line, we haven't heard any credible names linked with the club at all. So I'll start with you, Calum, because you weren't here last week when we covered it in kind of extensive depth. Are we at a point where Celtic fans are warranted to worry a wee bit? Options are thin. No names are being linked. 25 days to go as of recording to the shutting of the window. What are you thinking?
I think everybody's perfectly entitled to have that kind of worry. I think more so when we've seen how how poor it seemed to starting sort of front three felt at the weekend. For me, in fact, we're starting a season with Yang being our starting right winger. It's awful. Adam had plenty of chances as well. I'm sure also we'll touch a bit on him. So yeah, I think everybody's perfectly entitled to have that kind of worry. More so, you know what I said, if it's skimming, just look at the other side of the city. But again, they've got two wingers in, they've come in, hit the ground running for them. They're also going to be good players for them. It's just annoying seeing other folk doing business. And you're just kind of sat idly by.
It's a perfectly valid point, though, because, I mean, not to make this a Rangers podcast, that's not what it is in the slightest, but they've signed Gassama for, I think it was a fee of around £2.5 million or something. Ant-Man's came in for, I think, not too much more than that,
I think he's about 3.5.
4 something, yep. So where is Celtic spending? We've brought in 16.5 for Nicholas Kuhn and we've not replaced him.
Nah, that is the worrying factor. You would like to think, again, also there is plenty of things also we don't see it just as fans kind of behind the scenes going on, but it is just annoying when you look at seasons gone by, i.e. under Ange, business was done, you heard about a player 2 days later, you knew if he was coming or he wasn't, that was it. If not, you moved on to the next option. This just seems a lot of kind of humming and hawing, waiting to see who's actually going to strike.
It's weird because Dylan, Brendan Rodgers has said now for weeks the attacking line we need to add to. We've not got enough there. We've not got enough players that I would like, and it doesn't seem like we're any step closer. So I mean, the manager must not be happy. The fans clearly aren't happy. It feels like there's like a message that the board aren't getting, and it just doesn't make sense to me, really.
No, exactly. I think when you seen Rodgers' interview and stuff like that, you could have put it for last season as well. It's like, I think the more annoying fact is the fact all the fans know what is needed to be done here. It's like, fair enough, we're looking at defenders right now, and that's the only really news you're getting. And it's like the obvious things for everybody to see. Like, we need a right winger. We need a winger, as Calum says, you're starting the season with Yang. You come to this time last season, we're flying out the gates, the 4-0 Kilmarnock, and fair enough, we get the 3 points, but we just wasn't at Celtic level that you want to see at the start of the season. So it's just that way. It's like, you know what the problem is, and we're coming towards the qualifiers and stuff now. So it's just a bit annoying, man, to be honest.
Yeah, Kieran, I don't even know where to begin and end, because Yang, as Calum has mentioned, Ida, as Calum has mentioned, but the left hand side, Jota's out till January. We only have Dyson Maeda, so we're very thin.
We definitely, I mean, we 100% need that right winger brought in, a starting right winger, but we definitely need somebody else brought in that can cover the left hand side, because I mean, we're talking about the weekend there, I'm sure we'll come into it in more depth, but you've got James Forrest coming on and being maybe the bright spark up in that front three, which I love James Forrest, but we can't keep relying on him to dig us out of holes. I mean, that can't be the strategy moving forward. We need to try and sink a bit of money into getting the next player in that's going to replace Nicholas Kuhn. But just when we were talking earlier about, like, obviously across the city they've brought in the two for pennies basically, and they've came in and hit the ground running. See if you play devil's advocate, can you imagine the outcry in our support if we went and signed a winger at £3 million? You know, I think that would raise a few eyebrows again, because people are moaning at penny pinching and that. We obviously need to get players in, but I don't think we should be casting our eye there too often and comparing sort of thing.
Well, I was going to make that point. I was going to raise the point of, you know, these players are players that are in the region right now where Celtic fans have been voicing discontent towards. We want to spend big, we want to spend more money, but they're two players that have came in, hit the ground running, and is this is it going to be hard for Celtic fans to maybe find that balance in the next few weeks if that's the money we spend on players? Is it about trying to just trust them for the player that they are rather than the price tag that's put on their head?
I mean, we've been saying that for a good while now.
I
But
that seems to be a common trend on this show anyway.
But I just don't think it. I think you're not, as I've always said, you're not going to please everybody. But I do think if we look out and especially after the sort of hostility that's built up this summer, see, because of all the deals that have were reportedly interested in such and such, we're considering going forward with this, and nothing ever happens. I think after all these sort of fiascos, Celtic fans getting the hopes up for players maybe coming in, I think if we were to then go out and maybe make, in the eyes of some supporters, a very cheap project signing, I think that would also cause uproar. So I don't think there's, as we said, the price of a player doesn't define them, but I don't think they'll get that leeway for certain fans.
I mean, Calum, there was a point that came out earlier in the week, I think it was Saturday, Belgian journalist Sasha Tavolieri reported that Balikwisha is still very much a Celtic target, and they will likely move forward with trying to sign him in the case of Champions League qualification. Now, we spoke about this last week when you weren't here, and we said it's starting to kind of feel like Celtic are maybe banking on qualification before they go to sign anybody, but to me it just makes no sense, and they're asking for Celtic fans to be unhappy because ultimately you want to qualify for that competition, and I feel like the youngest of Celtic fans, the dumbest of Celtic fans, would be able to turn around and say, well, surely if you want to qualify for the Champions League, you get them in time for that. So it just feels like there's not a lot of sense being made in how the window's gone.
Nah, I think, again, it's that, Phil, you need to speculate to accumulate. It's literally that. You need to be singing out and having the best team. If it is the best team for the qualifiers, perfect, because that's the team that we will be using within that tournament. We need to have those players in. Again, I don't want to say too many players need a a bedding in period.
Aye.
But again, if we're holding out to see if we make it in to then go and pay that money, again, you're like, why you be putting ourselves in this position? Because then again, if it was to come out again, touch it, it doesn't. If we weren't to then obviously qualify, well, who do we go for now? Because we're holding out the money that we get for that just for him.
And then, it ultimately comes back to the same old thing, where you're putting these players under unnecessary pressure. So, Dylan, I look at Balikwisha, for example. I've started seeing people in my comment section turn around and say, don't even want him anymore. It's went on that long enough. I don't want him anymore. I want us to move on for him. And I'm like, this is Celtic. Well, maybe, listen, I'm not going to say it's 100% Celtic's fault. You don't know what's going on the other side. You don't know what's going on in the players' camp with the agent and everything else. But ultimately, Celtic keep putting pressure on players because it's either dragging on too long and putting high expectations against them, because price tags are becoming too high and then high expectations are against them. It's almost as if Celtic are asking these players to just have their backs to the wall for minute one, and we make life difficult for them.
I know, and I think obviously Engels is probably the perfect example of that, because you look at last season, I wouldn't say he was obviously the best player, but it's he didn't have a bad season, and at this, because of the price tag, he still had all that pressure. If you're taking it from Matt O'Reilly, I think even to this day there's still the Engels Stowers and stuff like that, so you don't really want a player coming in, if you're going to spend the money, do it early as well, especially because we knew Kuhn left a while ago and stuff. So the fact that they're going to come in with that pressure with the Celtic support is just again annoying, because it's the exact same situation that we've done for last season and we've not really learned from it.
Aye. Kieran, it's been a toxic place to be on social media. We touched on the fact that maybe even rightfully so. I mean, the board have buried themselves here. They've dug their own graves. There's been a lot of points being made online about Celtic and how they've operated this summer, and I've seen a lot of posts recently talking about, well, first of all, the transfer business, the poor investment in money, 3.7 million spent compared to the 25 million that we've brought in. People are talking about the contractual situation with Brendan Rodgers, how that's up in the air and it's been left to the last minute. People are even getting to the point where they're talking about the storm damage around at the Jockstein stand and how that's not been repaired for the opening game of the season. Is there just a ill feeling of, I don't know, incompetence at Celtic at the minute? Is there something to read into here, or are people just looking into it a bit too much?
I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of on the fence when it comes to that, because I think there has been an undeniable feeling about the club this summer that's been hard to shake. Obviously, I think if you're maybe not on social media, you wouldn't be thinking any of that. What the fuck are people talking about? I'm just going to the game. But for people our age and people that are chronically online like ourselves, we obviously read into things like this, and you see it's daily now because of lack of transfer signs. But as you said, you started seeing the stuff about the work at the Jockstein stand. And I mean, it is something I think that should have been wrapped up and done early summer. We've had quite a while to get it done. But I think it is obviously when you're in a position like this where there is maybe that wee bit more toxicity than usual in the air, it's easy to pick up on these things, and then it just snowballs, and then things start accumulating, and it adds to this feeling of discontent now. But the only way you can get out of this is the board know what to do. They need to spend money, improve the squad, get in quality signings that are going to improve this first team, and give people something to look forward to again. Because I feel like all summer you had the wee wave of signings at the start that people thought, right, at least the ball's getting rolling earlier than I thought it would, because everybody knows Celtic, they don't do things well in advance. And I think we had one summer where it felt like we were maybe forward planning and things like that. But the point I was going to raise as well, I mean, they've obviously operated poorly this summer, but do you think this is maybe, it's obviously a lack of forward planning, but we've had the luxury of not having to worry about qualifiers for a few years now. Is this back to the culture, a complete shock to people in the boardroom? Like, fuck, I forgot what this was like.
I'll let you kick it off. That's a good point.
Because even in previous years, we had to get it done even earlier, but you knew you were playing lesser teams in these rounds. But it's just, I think it might be a bit of a shock to them going back to the way things used to be in terms of qualifiers and having to get the business done.
I think Kieran's absolutely spot on that. I think it is a case of, you know, it seemed a bit lax days ago in terms of, that's fine, we've had the last couple of years, but it's just automatic qualification, it's brilliant. And as Kieran touched on previously before that, we had to play 3-4 rounds, so you knew you had lesser opposition, you were okay with certain points your team, but we're going right in at the deep end, but it is your better calibre team. Why are we still letting it drag out this long? It's madness to me.
And I think as well we've been getting a bit lucky now. See, like when you get the draw, you look at the Slovan and stuff for last season, you're like, we should be beating the two teams. So I think we've got away with one there as well, because it could have easily been a more difficult team. I'm not saying we should have done enough to go through anyway, but and then you're looking at the game at the weekend, obviously you've got the 3 points. It helps that Rangers dropped points against Motherwell the night before, but let's say we dropped points there in that game, which we easily could have. All of a sudden we're on this podcast and it's an absolute nightmare.
Well, this is what I was going to say. I mean, the board are playing with fire. This is, and I'm starting to believe that myself. For the longest time in this window, and maybe I'll hold my hands up and say I've been complicit, because people were saying that maybe 3-4 weeks ago that I was being too calm and I was ushering fans to be calm. But things do change very, very quickly.
I think 3-4 weeks ago you were allowed to be a bit more chilled about the situation.
Confident that things would change.
I think even the most steadfast in that, saying, right, it will come. I think when we're sitting here, how many days do you say till the
25?
25 days. As these days tick away, and even, like, I know a lot of the rumours and that are usually shite, but there's been a distinct lack in the volume of them this summer, I feel. Because I'm used to saying, there's us linked with that. But now, even when you're seen as linked with players, like, that's Football Insider reporting it. That is of the book room.
Fletcher of the team talk.
Like just genuine shite. And you're like, right, I'm not seeing like one credible-ish source.
And then as soon as one of these come up anyway, you've got somebody who is actually credible, maybe it's somewhere like Celtic are here coming out and saying, we've spoke to our sources, and it's shite. So it's like it's rubbish straight away. And to come back to what you just said about the Slovan game and the Almaty game, whoever we end up playing out of the two teams, like, this comes back to what I was about to say with playing with fire. Like, yes, we should be beating these teams. Yes, it'd be mighty embarrassing if we lost. But what if we do? The board are asking for a conversation to be had, and I'm not going to throw the R word out there, and I'm not going to say people are going to be doing throwing fucking fences at Celtic Park again, but why would fans not have the right to be doing complaining and showing their discontent to the board? Because that's what they're playing with at the minute.
Right, because I mean, for the past few seasons, it's felt like you're sort of building towards something. There's been money spent, but then for one summer window, I get that was a bit of an anomaly for Celtic spending that much last summer. But once you do that, but I feel like the precedent's then set that, right, this is the benchmark now. Even if we're selling players, we're going to spend money. We're wanting to be serious in Europe. So if you then completely drop your standards for 1 year, spending money, identifying targets who definitely would and have improved their team. I think to go for that to then this summer, even though we are back in the qualifiers, it's obviously a bit nostalgic back to them, but it's very reminiscent of the summers we used to have. Because see, when you think about how far Celtic's progressed as a club since the first time Rodgers was here, it's night and day. And this summer's been a wee bit reminiscent of a transfer window back when Celtic weren't spending these big fees. And so they've got a few weeks to put this right. Everybody knows what they need to do. it should be simple enough. We've got targets identified, supposedly. People's jobs is to have these things in motion, and we're now sitting here 25 days for the end of the window.
Yeah.
No further along.
Well, the Daily Record wrote an article yesterday saying that plates are spinning. That's the one that I've been using. Plates are spinning, and work has been done. We're scouting players in Europe. Apparently, we're not done in the Japanese market. There's things that could be happening. Dylan, I mean, ultimately, it all comes back to this. There is time for Celtic to right the wrongs of what's going on right now. And I think for as downtrodden as you could be, and for as negative as you might feel about the window, like, there is still plenty of scope for Celtic just to get things right and to do just what we need to keep fans happy. There's still time for that.
Yeah, definitely. I think overall, if you do look at it, you're just like, there's a couple of wee positions. Like, I think we're all looking here now about 3 or 4 signings is what you're wanting, like, minimum.
Aye.
It's that way. It's like, if you fix the positions that we're all wanting fixed, and then you go into this Champions League campaign. As we said last week, the squad has a couple of bodies away from it being brilliant, because obviously you look back at the Bayern for last season and you've seen a bit of the drop off, but so you don't want to keep going down that level, because even when you look at St Mirren at the weekend, I feel like we'd continued from where we left off last season, like the Aberdeen, the last St Mirren game. So
Aye.
I think when that's why you want the fresh bodies in as well, just to freshen up the squad. Like, you seen Niger, obviously he should come good, but it's that way, you just want more players in to get to know each other, get that next level for the Champions League. But as you are saying, it looks like it might be after the playoff games.
Calum's, Dylan spoke about the playoff games. Calum, let me ask you the question right now. Our registration period ends in a week's time. I think it's next Friday. I think the squad has to be registered for. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it's aye. So I think it's around then anyway. Are we ready for that game, or are Celtic gambling?
I think there's massively gambling. Personally, as we touched on with Barrick Fisher, the fact if we're waiting to see if we're getting a loan just for him, who knows what else we're then holding off on. Yes, it'd be ideal if we get in and then we see those signings come in, like brilliant, but what other players are we holding off on to then see if we qualify for Europe? Because like, as we said, if it did come about and we didn't qualify, what then happens? Because all of those players that we've spent time scouting, putting bids in for, talking to agents, that's just all out the window.
Yep.
And
It's a cracking point though. I mean, if Balikwisha's won, how many other players are potentially part of that? Because we'll come on to him in a minute. Adam Ober's another player who we're hearing Celtic have allegedly bid for, and it's 3 million short of what they're looking for. So how many of these players are they going to maybe go, we'll wait till we get the Champions League money in, even though we've got the Champions League money for last year sitting there, plus millions of other pounds. It does feel like a bit of a gamble. As I said, we should be beating them, Kieran, but
we should be, but
we're asking for our own demise.
I know. I mean, I'm sure we'll come into it in more depth in next week's podcast about it. But see, something that I've been thinking about today, like, see the previous times we've been in the Champions League playoff. Obviously, the ones that come to mind is when we played Astana,
Yep,
and we played Hapoel Beersheva.
Yep.
And obviously, in the home legs of the games, we scored 5 goals in each of them. At the points, but we'd sort of been in a rhythm. It was a bastard. We had to play all the earlier rounds, but by that point, you're up to a certain speed that you just wouldn't be if you hadn't played the games.
Yep.
We're now going to be going into the playoff round against teams that, while they might be on paper weaker opposition, they've played all these games. I mean, if you play Kairat Almaty, they're halfway through the league season.
Aye, and they've played already 2 or 3 qualifying rounds, haven't they?
Even with Slovan Bratislava, I think they went in the last round.
Aye.
Because they played that team from Mostar in Bosnia. So that's the comparison I've been thinking to back then, because we blew the teams away at Celtic Park and we were home leg first and we had to go to difficult places in the second leg. So it's a very direct comparison to the now. But are we at a stage where we can guarantee we're going to blow a team away at Celtic Park to gear ourselves? Cause if we need to travel to Kazakhstan, regardless of how good a squad you put, it's going to be a tough shift.
I think back to Shakhtar Karagandhi all those years ago, and
I mean, coming in for Australia stuff. Yeah, but have you playing the now?
Even like
and we got beat, didn't we? We got
like
beat
that Astana game, we 5-0 every day in Celtic Park singing, having a party in the Champions League, and I'm like, no,
really fucking balled it.
I remember watching that game like, no fucking way, we're going to fuck this.
Only Celtic have been nervous. Same with Beersheva, as you said there, Kieran. Like, remember they missed a penalty in that as well.
That might be one of the worst games I've ever
And you look at
watched.
Celtic's away record and then the travelling and that, like, if we don't get a commanding lead like Kieran says at Parkhead, it could be nervy.
And I just don't think we're in a position to, regardless of who we're playing, like, after the performance at the weekend, you're not really filled with the confidence that you can go out and put a few goals by somebody and give yourself a bit of breathing room when you go to these tough places.
Well, we'll obviously touch on that more a bit next week. Very quickly, Adam Ober, we'll talk about him very quickly. It's another centre half, or at least a left-sided centre half, who apparently can play left back as well. Celtic have apparently had a bid of around $3 million rejected, according to reports in Italy. It just feels a bit strange, doesn't it, Dylan? We've just signed Jemai Simpson-Pusey, and don't get me wrong, I think Gobert looks good. I mean, if he got linked to us at the start of the window, I'd get him in. But I don't feel like it's a priority, in my opinion, at this point. I think surely we should be putting our efforts into getting attacking players.
Exactly what you said there. Like, he's a great player and stuff, and it'd be good to get him in. But it's that way right now. We're needing attacking players.
Right.
Like, you're looking for any transfer rumour you can find, and then when you see it, and it's like a defender. Like, we've just put on Pusey. Like, please just link us to attacking people, because that is obviously the main priority right now. What we all want. So it's a bit an annoying one, but
I mean, in the spots in the Champions League squad, he's not. Let's be realistic here. This is not a guy that's going to be here by the time the registration pool shuts. But if hypothetically it was if he was turned out to be a priority for Celtic, I mean, then who do you start drawing for the squad? Like, who doesn't make that play offering? Like,
Liam Scales would still start. I don't see the point.
No, the Liam Scales fans will be in.
I guess he was alright.
We'll get on him. We'll get on him.
Always do this.
You know, Calum, it's just no surprise though, is it? They want €6 million. There's $3. It's a story in the window, isn't it?
It's a story of Celtic full stop. Like, we've seen it so many times. It's much as that bottle of water, tenner, like, get a fiver. You've take a fiver. Like, they're just so stubborn that. Seen it, what's the boy's name again? The winger from Go Ahead Eagles. That as well. They put a fee, not that. What about half it? No, that is what they want. We need to be at a point. If clubs come out and they've got a fee, obviously again, it's not a stupid fee. We need to be able to go, right, that's fine. We'll go with it. Try and save a bit of money if you can, but it's far too much pain.
I think there's a lesson could be learned both ways here. This is what Celtic should start doing with their own fucking players, you know what I mean? Rather than just being like,
25 million.
25 million.
Number? You win.
You know what? Let's start taking lessons for these clubs. Like, you know, it's not hard. Kieran, I don't know if much will come from it. As I said, Luke's a good player. Have you got any general thoughts on it?
I mean, I'm pretty sure I sat here last week and said I would like a couple of centre-halves in, but that was also because I was trying to drive Liam Scales to the airport. So
you're going to get hoisted up this podcast for the comment section.
But I mean, that's it. I did want another centre-half in because in my head, I didn't want Liam Scales being the starting centre-half this season, and even the backup to Trusty. But it would be nice to get somebody in, especially you said they can play left back as well. I understand that's not his primary position, but we sat here and spoke about the need maybe for somebody to be a backup to Tierney.
Inamura wasn't even on the bench at the moment.
So I think it would be good to get him, but as you said, we need to prioritise other positions.
Right, before we move on to the half-time segment, I'll open the floor. Any thoughts that I've not covered? Any questions? Anything for the panel?
No, trying to the Obert one. I've seen somebody put it in a reply yet. So that'd be Carter Vickers away after the playoffs end. I was like,
there's not been one.
I was going to say there's not been nothing, so I don't know where you're pulling that from.
I mean, that boy that played for Panathinaikos, the American, was saying, Carter Vickers is happy at Celtic.
It would come as a
folk again, because we've looked at our centre back. He could come in.
I've seen a few people hitting the panic.
It would come as a mighty shock if Vickers was to like suddenly go this window anyway. But
she just put the phone down.
I think people are just very
expecting the worst.
What else were we meant to do?
True. Right, okay. That's the transfer talk for this week. Hopefully, when we're here next Thursday, we're talking about attacking players. But we'll wait and see.
That are in the building.
The fourth left back link.
Right, half-time quiz, which this week is hosted by Calum, I believe, if you want to take the reins.
So when we went to Turkey, we got picked up in a private transfer and we'll put music on. I mean, I must have heard the full David Guetta on the bus. So of course I thought it was only fitting for a Who's That tick.
Yes, bring the theme
back.
Felt
only fitting. So obviously I wasn't here last week, but then obviously seeing Dylan, you being obviously the winner last week's quiz. So
fucking James Madison here. Seeing stories this year, get up.
So obviously I'll let you pick. Also get 3 players. You can pick either player A, B or C.
New season, so we're going back to the Bees though.
Oh,
Bees.
This is the season of the Bees, man. Oh, wait.
That's fine.
No, I can't. Sounds different.
So player B, for him, I've give you his full Celtic career. He didn't have such a long one. Only a few clubs. Started with Celtic, makes move to Arsenal, then Aberdeen, back to Celtic, and then finished up at Clyde.
Celtic, Arsenal. Did she back to Celtic?
So Celtic, Arsenal, then up to Aberdeen, back to Celtic, and then finished up at Clyde.
What a fucking career, Arsenal and Clyde.
Billy Wee.
Fair enough for London to your scamps.
You all seen Inside of the Winds?
That's a good one. I feel like
I know,
that
I
should-
don't have an
I'm
answer
trying
for
to think
that.
of Celtic players that played for Clyde. But
A few inches later.
Oh, he's gone blank. I know it's Ryan, but just for time with Johnny Hayes.
Is it not?
see, I was like, but can it be because you said started at Celtic, didn't you? No, I was thinking of that boy Frimpong that played for Arsenal.
No, it was big champion Shally.
Oh, did he go to Arsenal? Oh, right.
Charlie Nickel.
Right, I thought you meant.
I said Charlie Mulgrew. Charlie Mulgrew played for. When was he at Arsenal?
Oh, there you go.
So between yourselves, I'll let you go for the rock, paper, scissors. See
Right,
who gets
rock,
to choose
paper,
the
scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Bastard.
So, Kieran, do you like player A or player C?
A.
A. So your player was previously at Cardiff, came to Celtic, departed Celtic for Sunderland.
Oh, I've got that. I know that one.
Adam Matthews. Aye. I didn't even know if he played for Cardiff, but I was
The voice
Was
of an
indeed.
angel.
Aye, after his talking about Nard there, that's why he was in mind. So Ryan,
Yes.
you have player C to finish it off here. Your player started his career at Celtic,
Right.
moved on to Swindon, then followed up with Birmingham.
As soon as you hear Celtic and Swindon, only one man comes to mind.
That's who I thought it was.
And I'm
I come about it.
so is it know him? Oh God.
That is it.
I know who it is.
Is it? It's not the one I'm thinking of then, is it?
Could be.
For goodness sake.
Forget you hanging.
God, I'll go for it. Is it Cy Ferry?
It's not.
Is it
It's his best pal.
Paul Caddis?
Oh,
Caddis.
Caddis.
I knew he played for
What a
Birmingham.
curveball. You slick it bastard.
That's because I said Celtic Swindon. Whoever it was, that put right side Ferry.
You go out
And
on
then-
Swindon. You like Anyway, well done, Kieran. The only one that got one right this week.
Good stuff.
Who's that tick? Shame it doesn't get you any points in the league table, though.
Okay.
Add that to the wokeness.
Congrats on your win, but it means fucking nothing.
Right, talking about league tables. You perverted piece of shit. Right, Celtic Aberdeen, or Aberdeen Celtic I should say, as we head to Pittodrie this weekend. We started the league season with 3 points. It wasn't the prettiest game of football you're ever going to see. Dry attacking options, or just a good St Mirren side. What was your takeaway from it, Kieran? Very, very briefly.
I think it was obviously far from the best, but I remember coming away from the game thinking we could have gave ourselves a much better showing in that game, because the amount of chances that put on a plate for players and just weren't taken, especially in that first half. I had to actually go back. I sat and annotated my wee run through, because the day I was like, I need to go back and watch the game and just see like the chances we missed. I mean, you've got Ida with the header, you've got Maeda getting past the keeper. The angle was a bit tight from back. I think Maeda for last season, Tappy's game confident, takes on that shot at least instead of squaring it across. Nigren, the goalie made a good save, bounced after the post. And that was all just in the first half as well. We could have been in a much better position going into half time. And then the second half, obviously got the disallowed goal, Ida hitting the post, Kenny putting it wide, and then Maeda 1v1. So you list after the chances, you think we need to be finishing them. Because we gave a really poor account of ourselves, but it's clear the chances were getting created. It's just a lack of quality in finishing them off. I think that's the story of the game.
Any specific players? No, I mean, listen, 1-0, I think you take any win, I suppose, Dylan. 3 points is 3 points, but you know, there was obviously areas of the game that we need to look at, we need to analyse, and we need to make sure that, especially going to Pittodrie, we don't repeat, missing so many chances.
As Kieran said earlier, a lot of chances throughout the game. I think that's what was meant. I thought it was going to be one of the games where, you could be here all day and no score. There's the offside goal, and then you were looking at the clock, it was like, we could actually drop points here. But we did create the chances and stuff, and on another day we could have banged in a good couple of goals. But I think it's more just what we're talking about there. I think it was just a few individual players that just weren't up to their best. I know it's first game of the season stuff, but you're obviously wanting to get to that place where they're all banging in the goals and stuff. So I think when you go to a place like Pittodrie, and we all talk about it, the way Aberdeen played at the weekend, they were really poor. So that should be a game that should really be comfortable for us, as we seen it last season, beat them 5-1 there. So hopefully maybe the same. So we'll just need to see. But
I tell you what, Calum, you're off to a flyer. You said your surprise package of the season would be Luke McCowan. Without that goal, yeah, we'd be talking about a Celtic that also dropped points alongside Rangers. So, I mean, it's a good start for Luke.
Oh, definitely. I think he's one of the players. You've seen how much that goal meant to him alone. I mean, it's against St Mirren, he's run about pulling the shutter as if he's put us through at the knockout stages of it. Do you know what I mean? Just wee things like that. So I was chuffed for him. Him coming on and getting that winning goal. But no, I think there was definitely, as Kieran's highlighted, the fact that you could be 3-0 up, get in at half time. The game could have been done by then. It's just sometimes on the day things won't fall your way. Like that save for the keeper, how he manages to flick it off the bar. There's another one. I can't even. It might have been Rio. Hit the shot.
Aye, hit off the post, pure ricochet back
and
and
then hits
forth.
the keeper again and goes back out. Things like that, you start to think like maybe it's no all day. Sure enough, Luke steps up and gets a goal. It's fantastic for them. Gets us the 3 points. But you just like think they can obviously look at Aberdeen's game at the weekend against Hearts because they're like woeful and trying to take a bit of confidence. Obviously, considering the last time we faced them being the Scottish Cup final, you just like to think obviously that's back in the mind out of the way. And
well, let's talk about Aberdeen because that is obviously a game that we should struggle in traditionally. He didn't look great on Monday. Pittodrie is a place that last season we done okay at. I mean, the last game 5-1 winners up in Pittodrie in May.
Aye, because I mean, when you look at the lineup that night as well was quite.
Aye, and I mean,
Navrowski scored the first goal.
Aye, that's right.
makes it just hang away.
So it's the first away game of the season. You want to make a statement. You want to obviously improve on what happened last week. What do you think it'll be like, Kieran? Do you think this will be a better suited game for Celtic? The game maybe be a little bit more open. Aberdeen are now kind of need to get some points, so they probably have a good go of it. It may be a better suited game for Celtic.
I know, because I think depending on how the result went with Hearts on Monday night there, I think if they had managed to win, I think they'd have had a wee bit more of a free rein to just try and get a result against Celtic. But no, their backs against the wall. They're getting criticised by fans about the lack of quality up front and certain players not being replaced, things like that. So they're needing a result, and obviously on paper we think right they're going to have to play open, but at the end of the day, a result for them, a draw, they would take it. They would be happy to do exactly what St Mirren done, copy the game plan. It's going to be that, like, people on Twitter I've seen were pure hanging about St Mirren at the weekend, like setting up like that. I'm like, they'll try to give themselves the best chance of getting a fucking result.
It's never made sense to me, this whole. Me and David Buick have had this conversation in Discord a million times, and obviously he's a lower league fan, so he gets it a lot more. See this whole narrative of like, respect to the teams that come, and well done, went and played football.
Thanks for letting us play right through.
Absolutely. See if you're on Twitter, well done. You came to Parkhead and you tried to play football. Like, what a stupid thing to say. Like, come on, the team should be coming to Parkhead and setting up what that. The whole point of football is winning.
I wish they didn't, but we're not in a perfect world.
And it's like, you know, obviously here, like, the one I always come back to is like, I think it was that Mick Kennedy that manages East Kilbride. They got battered fucking 9-0 or something or something. And he's like, I'm really proud of the boys. They went out there and they played their game today. I'm like, you shouldn't be proud. 9-0. It's fucking embarrassing. Like, what's the point? But I mean, Scottish Cup final, Aberdeen set up in a way that choked the life at the game for large parts of it. And Celtic weren't clinical on the day either. There is every chance, Calum, that they could replicate what happened against St Mirren, replicated what happened in the Scottish Cup final, and Celtic need to be prepared for that.
Oh, massively. Because that's what the wee notes. Obviously, I just put in my phone so watching Aberdeen's game back, and it was again like notes it night and day. Those points they were just leaving 2 men back. When you ever see an Aberdeen team leave 2 men back against Celtic, for example?
Aye. And
it was such a high line constantly, even for set pieces, everything was high. It was just like I couldn't wrap my head around it at all. We touched on it just before we started recording. The only thing that gives me a bit of hope is their new number 9, the big centre forward.
Oh, it didn't look good.
Oh, you didn't even take you couldn't trap a bag of wet cement. It's not a cliche.
Him and Ida could be a generational battle on Sunday.
Oh, honestly, that'd be enough to make you turn the telly off. Like,
he's there.
I hope Paul McStay hasn't extended his wee trip here for another week.
Honestly, awful. That's something that gives you a wee bit of hope, but no, I think I can definitely see another Celtic at the cup final again. I feel for them.
Aye, so there's a lot of talk about what Celtic could or couldn't do in this game, and I think we've got to swear. I forgot to put this in the notes actually, but this is a big talking point. It's Adamida, and we can all laugh and joke. And I've been the hopeless Adamida defender since he signed permanently for the club. And 20 goals in the minutes he got last year was a good season, but this was the chance for him to stand up and really prove to Brendan Rodgers and the Celtic fans, I can be the guy. You spent £9 million on me for a reason, so let me be the guy. And Dylan, the clock is ticking, and some people are even suggesting that this weekend maybe you give a Yamada a chance, or maybe you put Maida back through the middle, or maybe you do. A lot of people just suggesting that he doesn't deserve to start the game. What's your take on everything we haven't gone into the weekend?
I was glad we were going to come into it, because I always just think that now the striker is the most interesting position at the club, because it's like, this is the first season in a while I've went into the season and I'm like, right now I still don't really know what the plan is. Like, you're bringing on Kenny instead of Yamada, and obviously I like Johnny Kenny, but obviously the talk is he's going to be going out on loan. And then you've got Adamida, a guy who's short of confidence. We've paid the $9 million and he's clearly probably not good enough for striker this season for that consecutive period. So the thing is, who are you going to play at the weekend? Does Ida deserve a start? But as you touched on, the chances, Tierney whips in a great ball from, he should score. There's just been a lot of times, even we've seen it in pre-season, we were hoping we'd level up a bit, and it's just not happening for him. So the clock is ticking, and people like me and you, Ryan, we like Adam Eden, we've always stuck up for him, but there's only so much he can do with a player like Adam Eden. He's not doing any favours, because obviously you want to see him succeed with the money we've spent, but it's just not happening for him now. So
he feels like a player that's almost kind of frustrated at himself at the minute. I don't know if he's got into his own head. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it is just that it simply isn't good enough. But you don't become a shit player overnight. And he scored 20 goals last season. He set a personal target for 30 goals, Kieran. And at the weekend, it looked as though he couldn't score in a brothel, as the famous saying goes. So
that's putting it gently.
I mean, he is on borrowed time, but between now and the end of the month.
I know. I mean, I've wanted Adamida to succeed, and I would have loved nothing more for him to be the main man, but as we've discussed, he's not putting up anything near the levels that is required to be the main man at Celtic. And Celtic are a club that have been very blessed in the striker position for most of my lifetime. I mean, like, even times where the team wasn't as stellar, you still had consistent goal scorers in there, maybe no massive names that maybe we've had at other times, but that you could always rely on them to score. And now we're in a position where I personally, if we had more depth in the wings, if Jota was back, I'd be starting Maeda up front.
I think that word that you used I can't remember what word you used now.
I used many.
Just talking about like reliable, right? Like, I love Ida, right? I love him to absolute bits, but if you were to take all the strikers I've seen in my Celtic lifetime, and you were talking about them going through one-on-one with the keeper, Adam Ida's pretty low on my list for confidence in finishing that chance. And that's the kind of narrative that he's driven for himself.
Talking about 1v1s, I'm telling you who's gotten down in my estimations for a 1v1, fucking Maeda.
I'm scared,
mate. He loves absolute fucking a 1v1.
I'm not going to be that guy, but just see through the wee bit in pre-season and then at the weekend, I'm scared. I hope that's not a one-season patch, man. Like,
The ultimate purple patch.
I don't want him going back to being a useless fucking shite out in the left. No, please don't. And Calum, of course, Yamada doesn't even come on over him, so that maybe shows what the manager thinks of him. So as Dylan touched on, it's just a pretty weird situation in general when it comes to the forward.
Definitely, I think, especially as you touched on the fact that if, like, he scores 20 goals last season, you don't want the folks to he's a dud, he's this and that.
Aye.
Like to see him else that says he's a dud going to score 20 goals in professional football. Set a target for 30, that's a big target. He probably could do it, but it's just, he needs to, whatever this stumbling block is from just now, he needs to get past it. But as you said there with Yamada, like, you seen 45 minutes of him, like, that him fully written off now, we're just not going to see it from him. It'd be interesting to see the team on Sunday.
I think that a big part of maybe the Yamada decision comes down to this, well, that maybe Rodgers has just went with somebody in that, and I think people maybe are reading into it a little too much, because the way I looked at it at the time was, right, you're 0-0, you need to get 3 points. I think Rodgers has went with a guy that he's just known a bit longer, that he maybe trusts a bit more. Like, let's get somebody out there who I've seen enough of to maybe get us out of rut here. And Yamada's somebody that's barely through the door, so maybe that's just where the decision comes from.
I think if you're a goal up at that point, like you'd see him bring him on, but he's obviously very early into his Celtic career to be, as you said, trusting him.
A lot of pressure as well to come on to it 0-0 to win the game.
Yeah.
You don't want to bury. I mean, you see how quick our fans are writing off players. I mean, if he comes on and misses a sitter at 0-0, could be curtains. I'm not joking when I say it could be curtains.
That's how high the stakes are.
But no, yeah, it's a big game. Aberdeen will be tricky. I tell you what, though, just to hark back to Ida's chances at the weekend, Kieran Tierney on that left-hand side. I mean, the difference.
Sublime.
Oh, I mean, he could have had 3 or 4 assists at the weekend. He really could.
I was talking about this and working at it shows you the jumping quality that you've went for. Not to disrespect Greg Taylor, as I've done so many times before.
Greece, Greg.
Getting a wee bit of sun. But like the levels is ridiculous, and when you seen him at Celtic Park on Sunday, you're like, right, we've signed somebody Premier League quality in a position that we've been trying to replace him in for years. And you're just seeing what we've been missing and what we're gaining for getting somebody in his prime years. Did maybe shit myself a wee bit when he went down injured.
It's only crap.
That's when you guys was like behind me. He's doing already, man.
I was actually
Greg. I'm not allowed to 40, Kieran.
I'll tell you one thing though, the Rangers fans' obsession with Kieran Tierney and his injury record is pretty fucking absurd. Like, they were all going on about it on Saturday or Sunday, I should say. As soon as he hit the deck, man, I loaded up Twitter in the stands and bang, it was just, he's doing already. What do you care?
That's strange. I thought they didn't watch your game.
I know.
Must have just caught wind of it. Must have been.
But yeah, he went down to Calum. It was only cramp, which is good. These are things that to be expected.
Oh, definitely. Considering Will said it when we first found it was coming back, with a player with his minutes will be managed as well. That is only cramp, that's fine. I'm more than happy for him to come right off and you put somebody else in. Just annoying we didn't have Inamura to then come in, being that left back, with him went to slime scale. I don't know how. Played a actual blinded across. Don't know where he's pumped that fade. Don't know, like. It's just obviously like, he had that wee wins, but then as you said, it's only cramp, it's fine. Take him off.
Aye. Looking forward to seeing him again at Pataudry. Takes me back to the goal he scored there back in 2017, 2018.
Scored a couple there.
It was that season, I know. But
great goal. Hopefully we can repeat that.
Who wants this, the barn in or the counter attack?
The barn in, I was thinking.
The
barn in's the one I'm thinking. I'll open the floor before we go into team and score predictions. Anything about the game this weekend that you would like to mention at all? Give my wee voice a break.
Forest will start. Obviously, Yang didn't do selling any favours again. We know that about Yang, but he's hot and cold. But
so this is my thinking on the Forest situation, right? Forest is absolutely the better player and probably should be starting. But see if you're drawing 0-0 with half an hour ago, because Forest can't play 90 minutes now. He's beyond that. He's done. He can't play 90 minutes. I'd much rather have Forest coming on the park with half an hour to go to try and get something than Yang coming on the park with half an hour to go try to get something. So that's my only thinking when it comes to who should be starting.
So obviously when he came on at the weekend to change the game again against St Mirren. So.
Aye. But he could start. I mean, he deserves the reward of starting, I suppose.
Much options is there?
Aye. I think Forrest is a professional at the point in his career though that starting doesn't, and this might sound daft, maybe I'm completely wrong. I don't think he's hurt if he doesn't start. He knows his role. Aye.
He expects to have an impact sub.
Probably rather that yourself, maybe.
I know.
You're at that age, so.
Well, what was that? I seen somebody put a post on Twitter, and it was like James Forrest, and it was like a booking for like 40 people. Don't know where it went. So like straight away, he's in the bench.
Well, he was.
He'll be making fun use it.
Aye. Anything else? Anybody for a move on?
Nah, I think we covered it there.
Covered all bases. Right, fine then. Team and score predictions. We'll go through the team very quickly. Of course, Schmeichel in goals. Back four. Calum, do you think it will remain unchanged?
I would like to see Trusty come into it, but then again, it's scales. He's not going to get dropped.
He had a solid game.
Aye, it did. The only thing gave me a wee worry, I was going to say whenever I touched on it was Johnson with his hip.
Aye.
There was a couple of points you seen him kind of. I think it was a challenge. In fact, it was a challenge, and he goes to get through, and the boy just catches his full leg. He didn't it was kind of hobbling at points, but again, your home match just a knock. He's get through it.
Aye.
He's all good.
I mean, it's defensively, Skill's done a good enough job for me. People are getting on my neck for saying that I think Trusty should be the starting left centre half, and the only reason I say that is because number one, I will die in the hill that he's a better player than Liam Scales, and I think Scales still struggles with the ball at his feet, and I think that was evident at the weekend. As good as he was defensively, like he just takes a second too longer for me to move the ball. He nearly gave the ball away in the first fucking minute of the game. But ho-hum, if he starts, hopefully he plays as well as he did at the weekend. Kieran, your midfield three?
do you persist with keeping Negrin in that midfield three? Because a lot of people were kind of maybe getting on him a wee bit because he never came on and done that. But as we spoke about when we were going through the chances, he was very unlucky not to grab a goal at his debut at Celtic Park. So I think you give him another run it and you keep McGregor, Hatate and Negrin. As much as I love Engels, I don't want it to feel like we're dropping Negrin out of the team because he never scored in your first game. So I think he deserves a chance to see what he can do, hopefully in a bit more of an open game.
Any objections?
No, I think the only thing between Negrin and Engels, please, as David Buick put it, for the love of fuck, somebody teach him how to swing a ball in. So many times we're hitting the first man, I'm like, you must be joking me. This is schoolboy stuff, just swinging a ball in. We don't need consistent in-swingers if it is. Do you feel like go and take it and fucking get the ball and tap of somebody's head?
Honestly, he came out of my corner, right, and he's like, the fans not reached, right, everybody's stressing, right? I'm like, put in a good ball in. Just don't tell me you go up for it. Honestly, man.
I see when we get a corner, I sigh.
The worst team in world football, man.
We were hypothesising about these players and their ability to take corners, right? Engels, Negrin, I bet they were amazing. Augsburg and
Nordsjælland.
Nordsjælland. I bet they were renowned actually for how good they were at taking corners. But I think there's a curse on the corner flags at Celtic Park that only affects Celtic midfielders.
I think that is the case. I'm telling you, I'm going to go and find the highlight reel of Negrin's fucking smacking in corner after corner at Nordsjælland, goal after goal, then bang, can he beat the first man on Sunday?
It was dreadful.
Pain in the arse.
Wait, I'm telling you, we're going to put the Batman signal for Austin McPhee to be our set.
Right, front three, Dylan. After all the discussion, do you persist or do you make changes?
I think that's the most interesting one because even you look at Kenny, came on and looked a bit lively as well and then scored the last time he was at Pittodrie when he started. So, but I think you need to play Eder again. I think he will play Eder just because he's that shot of confidence. Obviously, you want to try and get him a goal as soon as possible and stuff like that. And I think Kenny would be more the livelier again option for the bench if Yamada's not coming on. So I would start. I think he will start Eder again, and then Maida on the left. And as you said, I think he'll go Yang just as Forrest has got that more experience coming off the bench, and you'd look more at him for a goal if we're struggling. Hopefully not, but.
Aye, I hope you're right. It's a good team. It's the same team as last week, and it should be winning games. So on that note, score predictions. I'll kick us off this week. I'm going to go 2-0 to Celtic.
I'll go 3-1.
Same as you. I went 2-0.
2-0 as well. We've had the same 2 weeks in a row. Aye.
3-1.
Oh, 2 3-1s and 2 2-0s. Aye. Well, I hope it's a win. Simple as that. Because if it's not a win, then aye.
It's going to be an emergency podcast.
We'll be meeting in the studio in Aberdeen. Right, okay, let's move on the show to the Twitter questions. I've been looking forward to this week because I seen there was a lot of questions.
That's a
Last week as well.
Aye. So as I said, I'm going to start rotating around everybody, giving them a shot to host the Twitter questions. And this week, it's Kieran.
Right, so we're back, and the first question we've got here is from Niall, but he asked two parts. We've already spoke about Obert, but we kind of breezed past the links with, is it Bischoff or
Bischoff, aye.
Wee biscuits.
And I'm better than ever.
But he's a player that was... Sorry about this now. too much tomfoolery going on right now. But he's a player that was meant to go to Brighton.
Yes.
And it fell through. He's getting linked to Sunderland as well. If it is up against us and them, he's going to go to...
but it's a lot of shite anyway. Like the sources at the Brøndby goodness God, sources close to Brøndby have said that Celtic have no communication with the club, nothing there.
I mean, we're not very good at communicating with Brøndby anyway. We're going to get fucking feet scarred.
Seen Peter Lawwell's name come up on the phone and went, fuck off.
This cunt again.
So, I think it is nonsense. But, I mean... He's a kind of profile that you would expect to see Celtic get linked with. Put it that way.
They want like €8 million, I think, from so.
Here's
1.2 million Celtic.
Let me add a question. See if here's a point I want to make. Murdoch's available for £20 million apparently. Now, if Celtic had balls, they would go in and bid £20 million. If they had a big set, a massive hairy cajones, they'd put them on the table and they'd bid £20 million.
Murdoch is class, right? But it's that way you'd be like, people would be like, your fans would be like, probably me as well, but I bet you get rid of them like so easily, and then you're doing that, you're doing yourself a lot of money. But Ryan, I agree with you, but because obviously, I like Liverpool and that, and Ben Doak is cooking.
I think there's a way that we could surely negotiate some sort of package to get up to that 20 mark, and it would make
PayPal paying 3.
But aye, no, as you were saying, kind of profile of a winger that you'd expect to see come in.
Thanks for the question. Now we've got Cal here next saying, do you think a centre half is on the way out? I mean, talking about the Obert link, but we kind of touched on that. I think, I don't know if we will get another centre half in, but I think even if we do bring one in, I think it's better to have the strength in numbers.
Is Heinrich as well still in the squad? Is he like so
He's
five centre backs?
meant to be going to Plymouth. He's meant to be going.
That was it, because I seen he was getting rumoured in that, but I was obviously 5 centre back.
I think that ideally you have the 5 of, if Obert were to come in, you'd have Vickers, Obert, Scales, Trusty, Simpson, Pusey, and I think that's a solid 5 to have. But
you're not going to be able to keep all the defenders happy, to be fair.
No.
We don't do a great deal of rotation.
We'll deal with that in January.
Aye. We've got Liam here, he's back again. He says, hello Kieran, I have to say it's absolutely brilliant having you back on our screens. Thank you. People are going to think that's a burner account for me writing to me. But anyway, just wondering, what are your thoughts on baked potatoes and what's the go-to filling?
My go-to filling for a baked totty, and I do love a baked totty, I like all types of baked totties, but I think my go-to would be the prawn with the Marie sauce. That's mine.
I've only had baked totty like maybe twice in my life.
That's poor.
And they were both like last year.
Wow. What was the go-to?
I just put a bit of cheese and butter on it.
Just cheese? Boring.
I'm the same, Kieran.
Is he a cheese boy as well?
Cheese really is.
Cheese and beans is a shout. Chili and cheese. For Costco.
Yeah, that does sound good though.
I've still yet to try one for Costco.
Lovely.
But I've tried everything else.
I like it all. I'll take tuna, I'll take prawn, I'll take cheese, I'll take bean, I'll take
singular bean. Massive bean on it. And as always, Liam finishes off with here, mind that time Ayer ran the length of the pitch away at Aberdeen and stuck one in the top stanch. Hail.
I was talking about that the other day with that.
Historic, man. What a play. Yeah, I'm back. Fucking 15 million the table for him.
I know, Celtic had balls. Decky's back and he says, evening trips, I would like to clear up, I am not depressed in general, but thank you for your concern.
What was it he said last week again? How shite's life or something?
Was that like fucking depressing in it or something? That was like context.
But he said, but thoughts on putting Negrin out in the wing on Sunday for Yang and Engels / McCowan into midfield?
After the Yang performance, I actually wouldn't mind, but nah, it won't happen.
We've spoken about it briefly with Finlay in our chat. It's just, nah.
We're in a position now where in the positions we can, you need to play to strengths. Exactly. While we might have some weaknesses, I don't think it's right to try and shoehorn players into positions that they might have played before, but it's not their desired place to be, and then that just opens them up for criticism.
Yeah, it's just putting them into want to get
if it was a Neil Lennon squad, maybe, but
just flip the wingers in.
So I think as soon as he said Lennon, I think the wingers are boom.
We've got Colin Watt here. He says, how can fans actually have impactful protests on what's going on at the club? Season tickets, always someone to replace them. Merchandise, we're still selling tons. Money is coming in, yet we're not actively strengthening. What would actually work? See, that's a point where obviously people are going to be a bit more unhappy as time rolls on. There will be more talk of things like this. It's just inevitable, but it raises a fair point because people are never going to stop. We're in a position where we've said explicitly I would never get my season ticket because
somebody's got to be there to take it off you, then you're not getting it back, so why would you get up?
You can make as much a protest yourself if you want to say I'm not going back. Well, there's thousands of people waiting to take your spot.
Celtic do not care if wee Joe for Canvas Lang isn't going to the season ticket office to renew. They don't care. And they don't care if Jimmy for Rickazy isn't getting the new tap this year, because guess what? All the Waynes there in Thailand and America and Spain and all over the world that are buying Celtic taps are still going to buy them. It does feel like there's increasingly little ways to actually have a voice at the club that will make a difference, because it's always going to be a minority no matter what. It's going to take something of seismic disbelief and disapproval for the fans to come together collectively and go, you know what? No. Like, I don't know what it's going to take, but it's going to have to take fans actually just no turning up at the gates and for all the seats to be lying empty. But what is going to drive Celtic fans to them that? Probably nothing, because there's going to be
I'll tell you what drives them to it, a midweek kick-off in December.
But in all seriousness,
Every game.
in all seriousness, like I genuinely do think that it's all well and good for me and the Celtic Exchange and Axom and Hamish and all these blogs and everybody, all these fan media channels to go on and use their voice, but they don't care. They don't care about fan media. They don't care about fans, apparently. So what do we do? I don't know.
I know. I mean, I feel like I say this all the time, but see, when it comes to the season ticket as well, I feel like that's the glaring sign that Celtic no longer have to incentivise us to be active in our support of the club, because every benefit you once had with a season ticket, they don't get it now, because it's not like when the tap tail was getting shut off up in sections because they couldn't sell them and they had to try and get people in half season tickets, all that shit. We're not at a point where we've grown so much and that the support is so active and everything, it's impossible to get a season ticket. They've got everybody by the balls and they're not letting go. So you kind of are fucked. Like, there's no way, as you said, there needs to be something that unites the support to hang a protest, and I don't see anything happening in the foreseeable that could do that.
No, it's too difficult.
I think the only way is if it's like the same as COVID and it just gets to that catastrophic level.
We've got a question for Lewis, and I'm just going to ask for a quick one-hangy answer on this. Realistically, how many signings do you see is making from now until the end of the window?
3.
I think 3 as well.
3.
I would go with 3 as well. Lewis says 3 to 4 is his guess as well.
I'd love 4.
And he sort of branched out in this. Somebody spoke to him in the replies, and he said that he would want a starting striker, a right winger, and he would be fine with a backup left back and a backup left winger on loan. Would you see that as a viable option that would keep people happy though? Because I think it makes sense, especially if Jota's out injured.
I think that if you're, as I said at the start of the video, you're warranted to be annoyed at how this window's going. But I think that's a bit picky. Like, if we're bringing a left winger on loan, it makes sense. Maida's there, Jota's going to come back. It's not the end of the world. Maybe try and get somebody that you can get an option or an obligation to buy. But as I said, go out and get Ben Doak. Boys in the table.
Wow, boys. Connor saying, do you think Rodgers would tamper with his formation if you wanted to sign wingers? So he's suggesting like a 3-5-2.
I think he tried it briefly at Leicester towards the end when things were going a bit tits up, and I think it was a sign of desperation. I don't think we're at that desperate stage yet right now where he needs to do that.
I know, I don't see it happening, but Aiden's said here, do you think with so many strikers at the club, do you think rather than sign another one, we'll just take back we shut the end of the window and play Dyson through the middle? I mean, I've not even thought about us doing that.
I know.
Because, I mean, we done it in January, to the sense where we just let Dyson play through the middle, and it turned out to be a masterstroke, but
That's
we'll
why
get
it's so
lucky
interesting.
twice.
Like, do you think we will bring another striker in?
I'm just worried about the options. That's
Like,
what I'm worried
that's what I
about.
mean, like, are we happy then with us going into the Champions League? We don't know. Obviously, we don't know what the Fiumada will be at a level. He does. And
so much uncertainty.
It's a whole podcast in itself.
Exactly.
Quite literally. Right, 2 more, and then we'll move on to the full-time quiz. Sorry about having to cut people's questions off, but we are, I think, about an hour
Trying
into
to
the
pick
show.
my favourite questions here. You got favourite away match you've ever been to, lads? That's Ronan that asked that.
Domestic, I mean, it's Rome.
Aye,
For
it
me,
has to be.
It's Rome. Domestic, I mean, there've hardly been any classics. They've all been pretty
I
straightforward.
mean, you got Scott Brown win the league at Rugby
Oh,
Park.
of
That
course,
was
there you go.
a standout
Bang.
one.
There's mine. Aye.
Actually, not been that many. It's been quite hard these days to get away, but I always loved Rugby Park. It's just a nice wee.
Motherwell 5-0, night it started snowing. Fucking brilliant.
Oh, aye.
But then again, trying to get my dad, your tickets off at the boatmen.
Aye.
A Fir Park, and I've sat to the right on the chairs and that, get that
Aye,
fucking
aye.
big. My dad's fucking stood there, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Just not got a clue. Oh, fucking. I still actually see his face.
Nation this season, please. Right, last question. In the cracker. Any food ones? No.
I feel like I did see a food one.
Constantly disappointed by all of you.
I think it was a lot last week as well.
Aye. Well, any question, Kieran. We'll finish after any
Aye.
question.
There was one down here soon. 2 seconds. There's so many this week.
I know, loads. Thank you for your efforts, and don't worry, we'll try and get more next
We'll
time.
end on Jude Forsyth's question, and it's about Bernardo. Where do you think where do you think he fits in this squad now with Negrin coming in? McGregor's back up potentially in the 6.
Could be.
I feel bad for him because he's had so much bad luck when it comes to injuries and trying to get himself in the squad. And when you do think, right, he's looking good, unfortunately gets injured and gets kept out. But
I'd like to see him more so again. McGregor's on aging legs now. You'd like to think you see a bit more rotation in him. You want to keep him steady as your captain, but you need to manage his legs as well at points. So I wouldn't mind him playing as a 6.
Well, I hope to see him soon because I miss him. Right, that was the Twitter questions. Thank you. Let's move on to the last segment of the show. The full-time quiz. Now, Dylan got underway last week with a win. He's the only person with points to his name.
Top of the league.
Looking down on Kieran, Ryan and Calum. Kieran also played, got 0 points, and me and Calum are yet to play. So this week, between 3 men, we're going to have Dylan. And I believe we might have a different sort of quiz this week rather than the traditional 5-question penalty shootout.
So I think we played it once last season. I think it was 1% club quiz.
Right. Oh, nice.
So
we're going to need
90 working your way.
We're going to need our Snapchats here, aren't we?
Aye.
To use
I want to get Weebles soon.
and we're going to need to obviously. So you ask a question in it, we get 10 seconds to answer, didn't we? And then
I think it was
aye, something like that. Right, okay. Well, if you've got anything to read beforehand, then read it out.
No, it's just whenever you're ready. I'll start right after the 90%.
Right, okay. So it's me, Kieran, and Calum playing each other. Last man standing gets the points, and then we'll go from there. So I believe we start with the 100% question.
I think it's 90.
90, is it? Oh, that would make sense. Right, okay.
Right,
Take it away, Dylan.
Right, boys. So starting off with 90%. So who scored our first goal this season?
Oh, well.
competitive, yes.
I said that. I mean, last time I pure panicked about Matt Riley 25. Sometimes you'll think it.
Right, I've got my answer ready.
I don't know what the fuck I've done with this font.
We are ready, aye. Right, 3, 2, 1, bang.
Count. Chocolate bar, look.
Aye.
Extra point for Calum.
That's no his name, he should be out.
He's out.
I've seen his buster.
Right, well, he's into the second one. 80% now. So, who scored an own goal in our last game against Aberdeen?
Oh dear.
I actually looked at this
Oh,
yesterday.
you get a pass, didn't you? In the 1%.
You only get the pass at 50%.
Oh, is it?
I think.
I think I've
You get
got
by
it.
60 and you've earned a pass, so if you get one. So,
Oh, is it? Oh, I could be out
I
here.
can't be out of
I could
I
be
think
out.
I could be.
I could
Cut the camera.
Right.
Oh, no.
I'll use a clue, but then I feel like I'll use it.
I think I've got it.
If he's got a clue,
I think I've got it as well, but I could be out.
I think he's might be overthinking it. I'll use that.
Oh, fuck.
I've got my answer and I'm not changing it.
Because when I first read it, I was like the same, and then I went, oh, and it took a wee second. So,
Aye.
I've not got many thoughts in my brain about
I
this.
think I'm aware already.
Right, you can use the countdown when you're ready.
When you're ready, 3, 2, 1. Oh, scales for Calum, Ryan, CCV, and Kieran Schmeichel, and it is Schmeichel, the cup final.
Oh dear, so it is. That's right.
I kept thinking of 5-1.
That's what I was like. See when I gave you
I disregarded the cup. I thought it was a
Because it was 2 own goals in the.
because you wouldn't think of the goalie. That's the first thing you wouldn't think.
Aye.
So well done, Kieran. Congratulations.
I will play the rest of the
Ah,
quiz.
that's a climactic fucking right. I will keep going.
Because see when I first read it, I was like,
Sorry, Nathan.
That's what you get when you play with 3 fucking idiots.
he's like, after it, no, drink this is to you.
I just thought, it's the league. Because the first question was the league.
Aye,
That's
aye.
what I thought it was going down at 5-1.
80 bloody %.
That's why I was like, I don't overthink it, because it's like, I wouldn't. Aye.
Right, let's go. Let's crack on then.
Easily done, innit? Right, 70%. Name either player who scored their first Celtic goal in a much changed lineup on our last visit to Pittodrie.
Oh, right. Scroll up.
Either player.
On our last visit to...
Pittodrie.
Mate, I feel like a pure old guy using Snapchat because I've managed to put up a different font every time.
Right.
Not even me.
Right, he's ready.
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1. Kenny and the Rocket, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's
Alright,
fine.
nice.
Well done, boys.
Bloody, I can't believe that I'm doing that. Oh, Jesus.
So 60% now. 2 of our first team squad players have played for Aberdeen. Name them.
Oh, 2 of us first team squad.
2.
Have you got to name both? Aye.
I'd say just name one. Liam Scales and... Because Scales was the obvious one.
Oh, right, okay, right. That's happy days. I'm ready to go.
Thank you.
I've got my answers.
Right.
You ready, Calum? You saying?
Okay, I'm
Hold on. How many do we need to name?
Just one. Scales and the other person.
One, is it?
Right.
Right, 3, 2, 1. Scales and Doohan. Aye.
Aye, hey, we all got it. Nice. Scales and Doohan. Right, next one.
So this is where you earned the pass. So.
It's a shame that me can't.
Right, 50%. Who has played more games for Celtic? Dyson Maida or Kieran Tierney?
Oh, that's a cracker.
Aye. If you were playing the darts game, who would you pick first?
Oh. It's tricky, that.
190. Right, I've got mine. It's 50-50.
Ah, no.
It's a 50-50,
Fucking
yeah.
take a gas, I guess.
Right, 3, 2, 1.
fuck.
Oh, sorry.
I think it's wrong anyhow, fuck it.
Right, ready?
3, 2, 1. Maida, Tierney, Maida. It is... Oh, I've lost it now. It's Kieran Tierney. Kieran Tierney's played 171 and Maida's played 159.
Nice. I had a feeling it'd be Tierney.
I don't know, I thought towards the end I felt as if he just went
Aye,
through injuries.
injuries, aye.
He's missed a bit.
40% now, so new signing. Benjamin Nygren is a Swede who signed from Denmark, but name either of the other 2 countries he previously played in.
I should know this because I've been talking about him all fucking
To be
summer.
honest, I think that got me. So how we got Nygren is a Swede who signed from Denmark, but name either of the other 2 countries he previously played in.
Because he got a big move when he was really young and it didn't work out, and I just can't remember where it was.
I genuinely don't think I've read into anything in his career apart from...
I can't remember where the big move was now. I think this is wrong, but I'm going to guess it anyway. I've got 2 countries here.
Just a country
I
then.
would have just threw 2 together at this point as well.
That's what I'm trying
I'd maybe even say I'd take 1, since it's quite...
I've put 2 anyway, so hopefully I've got even 1 right. That'd be nice. As I said, I should know, but it was a long time ago we were talking about him now. It was June.
I'm taking a guess.
I'm just guessing too.
Nah, we do it anyway, Calum. It's not a big deal.
I know,
It's
it's
just
to play for.
Aye,
Yeah.
it's to play for, aye.
Um,
Put fucking, I don't know, Swaziland or something.
Can I?
That's the one, aye.
I've just put 1.
Fuck, I just guessed it.
I'm that confident.
Oh, let's see yours then. Holland, Germany, Spain, Norway and France. So the answer was Netherlands and Belgium.
I knew Holland was one of them.
Aye.
So who's he actually played for then?
I think they don't get a big move to one of the Dutch. I feel like he got a move to Ajax or something, and it never really worked out for him there.
Aye,
And that's why I put Holland.
I didn't know Belgium.
I couldn't think of Belgium. I couldn't think of that.
Wasn't Belgium.
Right.
Right, 30%. And if Celtic were to line up in the traditional number 1 to 11, like this squad,
Aye.
how many players would be missing?
Oh, good question. Right.
Wait, so say that again.
Right.
So, like, see, like the 1 to 11 squad numbers, Kieran, like an order.
Mhm.
Like,
Aye,
who's
aye.
missing. So, like,
So,
one
like-
striker, basically.
Aye,
Like,
but...
2, 3,
So
4.
who's
like
not got a
3 numbers
number?
are missing, basically.
Ah, right.
It's just the number you have to give.
Aye, just the numbers, aye.
Chichiwa, 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 wa, wa.
I was actually surprised, to be fair, when I seen it. I was like, oh.
I'm just trying to go through. Oh, that number's there. Oh. See, this is the thing, right? So, like, somebody like Trusty, what's the situation with him? Because he's not, like, in the strongest starting 11, is he? Oh, wait, hold on, can you read it again?
So it's like, see, like Speichel's number 1.
Aye.
Like the number 1 he's been.
Uh-huh.
So it's like,
Oh, so it's right, so just
So-
right, the numbers are only taken. Is it not just
Aye,
aye,
so
right,
it's like-
okay, right, aye,
if
right,
you get
right,
me.
right. Sorry, my bad.
I'm pure terrible with squad numbers, man.
Snap.
Oh God
He
almighty.
took that number, and that's taken.
the old.
He's in the 1 to 11, right? So,
I've
just for talking sake.
Is it 3 numbers?
Aye,
There's 3 numbers missing.
3 numbers missing, aye.
Right, I've got my 3 guesses.
Aye, I've got 3.
I'm not even going to start overthinking it. I'm out anyway, so I've got my 3.
Aye, I've got 3.
I don't know why that question's pure composite.
Between 1 and 11, what ones are vacant?
Right,
Aye.
I've got you now. Oh, fuck. Right.
God say, this podcast's going to be about 4 hours long at this rate. Oh. Bloody
You
quizzes.
just need a number, that's it.
Aye.
Right.
Yeah, I've got mine. I'm putting mine round.
3, 4, 7,
Aye.
Oh, fuck.
3, 10, 11.
I thought you meant out of them. So I'd said 3. I didn't.
Oh, well, yeah, you've got one. You've got one right then. You've got one right.
Well, Kieran's got it spot on anyway.
Is it what ones was it?
Greg
3,
Taylor.
10, 11.
Number 10.
4's that?
Excuse it.
Crazy.
Oh, aye.
7
That's
Jota.
Understand
Oh,
that.
sorry for forgetting that Pusey took a number fucking 4 days ago.
Jota?
I thought it was 17.
Ah,
Well, there we go. Right, anyway, 20%.
20%.
still
Legend
gone.
Paul McStay raised the flag on Sunday, but how many of the current squad have more league titles than Paul's 3?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm just putting a number down.
Aye, it's just fast that there.
Can I just say a number? Can't be
Right,
as funny
I'm
about
ready.
it.
There you go, just say a number. There you go.
I've went for 6.
6,
7.
7,
5.
8.
Of course.
See, if Welsh is included, and I wouldn't have thought
Ah,
so.
well,
7's
Shy.
that's-
Fuck it,
Right, 10%. Name of the player who crunched Rio Hatate at the end of last season, making him miss the Scottish Cup final.
Gay.
Oh,
Is it no
Aye.
gay?
Aye.
Aye.
And then 1%. In which month and year did Aberdeen last beat Celtic at Pittodrie? Well, you're allowed to be 2 months closest to it, either side.
March 2015.
November 2014.
February 2019.
Oh, it's February 2016.
Oh, you bastard.
The 1%'s
None of his
they got
fucking
that,
near.
congratulations.
Well, I mean, that would have been a lot better if me and Calum didn't fuck it right at the start. So apologies for that, but well done, Kieran. Taking home 3 points, which means that you're also on the board.
Kieran has joined me at the top
Right.
with a game in hand. Though.
Right, that does it for the main edition of the show. We're going to go and do a wee quick Thunder Club, so join us over there if you have the Thunder Club membership. If not, then get it. Simple as that. Thank you, Kieran. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you, Calum.
Pleasure as always.
See you on the other side.